everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing another day of food, is that what I call it? A day in food, that's what I call it, isn't it? A day in food video. And I'm going to be talking about yesterday, in fact, because today we're Wednesday, aren't we? So yesterday would have been Tuesday. So I'm going to be talking about what I had to eat on Tuesday. What day was it yesterday? 13, 14, 15, 16... The 20th, wasn't it? Tuesday, the 20th of December, 2018. A day in food. So here goes. Oh yeah, I'll just let you know what's coming up first of all before I trundle into this. So this video will be in a day in food. I also want to show you two beverages which are going to be coming up, and also I've got a little bit of exciting news to impart as well. So day in food, here goes. And keep all my recipes. Well, I've got many of these books actually. This is just one of them. It's pretty, isn't it? Nice floral. I've got this from the works, and I write up all my recipes in there. So, anyhow. Yesterday, for breakfast, I had a really, this took a long time to prepare. I don't have this every single day, because that, it does take a long time to prepare, but yesterday I just thought I'd go and check it out and try it. It was black rice, Thai pudding. Now, I don't know if any of you have tried black rice. I actually hadn't even heard of it until quite recently. I happened upon it in local Whole Foods near where I live. And I just thought, oh, that looks interesting. So I thought I must try that. And I have actually Googled it since to find out a little bit about it. Apparently there are two types. There's Chinese black rice and there's Thai black rice. And they're both similar, but one's got a slightly more al dente texture. If I remember correctly, that's the Chinese rice, but I'd have to double check. The Chinese rice is also called forbidden rice, because in the olden days it was mainly just reserved for rich people like the emperors. But it's actually quite popular in Thailand, apparently. There's also the Thai version. I'm not entirely sure what one I got, what the version was. I'd have to double check on the packet, whether it was Thai or Chinese. But anyhow, it doesn't really matter too much. Black rice is black rice, it doesn't really matter what one you use. It does require a lot longer to cook than regular rice. On a packet it said 25 minutes, but when I was making it into a pudding, I thought it needed longer than that, so I ended up cooking it for about 45 minutes, because that made it slightly less al dente. It still looked quite chewy, because it's just the nature of rice to be quite chewy, this particular variety, but cooking it at a longer period of time just makes it a little bit more palatable. So that's what I did. When you drain it, by the way, the whole water turns this kind of like purpley hue. It's quite amazing. And once cooked, it kind of becomes more indigo, whereas in its raw state, it looks black. So I cooked the rice, drained it, so say about 45 minutes. This isn't something you do every day, and it's because I had a bit of time yesterday, so that's why I did it for breakfast. Drained it, put it into a bowl, and then what I did was I heated up. So in the last stages of its cooking, I heated up some coconut milk in a saucepan, and I sweetened the coconut milk with a little bit of honey and some vanilla essence. So just heated that through, without boiling it, just so you get it nice and warm. And then I put that on top of the black rice. This is 100% vegan friendly, so if you don't like animal products, this is one for you. Poured it over the black rice, and then I topped it with some chopped mango. I've decided I really, really like mango. I wasn't quite sure in the past, about mango, but actually it might just be that in the past I never had mango completely ripe, and I think mango's a bit like a banana. You sort of want it to be, it has to be the right kind of like texture in my mind. But I got ready prepared mango from Waitrose, because I don't know if I've told this before, but I can't use sharp knives because I have a bit of a fear about cutting myself, and I'm not really very good with knives, so I tend to always use butter knives for like everything. And there's no way I can use a butter knife to cut through a mango. So it's good that they have the mango ready cut, and that's what I got. And also it's really ripe as well, which was lovely, and I really liked it. So I put that, so as I say, top the black rice with the sweetened coconut milk, and then top that with the mango. Voila! That was really, really nice. I haven't got that recipe in front of me. I unfortunately left it next door in the kitchen, but I'll find where it came from, and I will put the link down below, so if you want to go and check out that particular recipe out, you can do. I actually came across this one on Pinterest, so that's what I had for breakfast. And then for lunch, and I wrote this down in this book, so I've got this in front of me to refer to. Here it is. Yes, for lunch I had farro. Now I don't know if any of you have heard of farro before. This is another kind of newfangled entity that has come onto the scene, possibly quite recently. It seems to be quite a lot of fashion at the moment for kind of ancient grains. Farro is an ancient grain. It's actually a type of wheat. It's kind of what they used to eat more in the olden days. It sort of looks a little bit like pearl barley. I think it actually tastes a little bit like pearl barley as well, but it doesn't take as long to cook as pearl barley. I actually got quick cooking farro, which actually only took about 10 minutes to cook. So that was a good one, and they sell it in most Whole Food stores, but you might be able to get it in your local supermarket as well. I got mine from Waitrose. So what I did was, I cooked the farro. You do need quite a lot of water to cook farro in. I think it's actually about, a lot of water. I think it's like a whole litre, because, it does absorb water quite a lot, so you do need a lot of water to cook it in. Cook that for about 10 to 12 minutes. Meanwhile, sautéed onion, garlic, sliced mushrooms in a pan. And then, when a farro is cooked or close to cooked, I put some tinned white beans into the farro pot, just to warm them through. Then you drain all of that, the beans and the farro. You toss the farro and the beans into the mushroom pan. You season it with some pepper, and then sprinkle over favourite herbs. I use thyme because I quite like thyme. And the recommendation from this website, which actually came from cilantro and citronella.com, I'll put the link down below as well. They recommend serving it with the rocket and pomegranate salad. I didn't do that. And they also said you could serve it with some garlic rubs bread. Again, I didn't do that because I thought it was quite substantial in and of itself. But, if you wanted it to be a little bit hearty, you could have it with some bread. Drizzle some olive oil over it at the end. That gives it more flavour, and it's really very nice. So that's what I had for lunch. And then for meal, the other day, I actually had this on 2 consecutive nights. I had soup. I do like soup, particularly in the colder weather, because, it's warming, and also I like soup because it's very easy to eat. I think that's also why I like porridge, because I do like food that's easy to eat, that doesn't involve much chewing, and I just find it more relaxing, eating things like soup. So, I made soup, and the soup I made was, find it, flip down here. Oh yes, it was a Delia Smith recipe. Again, I'll post a link below. I came across on Pinterest again. Pinterest is amazing for collecting recipes. Leek and butternut squash soup. It involved, this is what I did. So first of all, I sliced some leeks, and I chopped some onion, finely. And then I cut the squash into cubes. Now the butternut squash I used was frozen. Frozen, I defrosted during the day, because again, cutting butternut squash with a butter knife, you just wouldn't be able to do that. So I get it frozen. And then melt butter in a large pan. You add all the veg and stir well. You pop the lid on and you keep the heat low. The operative word there is low. Low is important. You allow the veg to sweat. You just want it to sweat gently for about 20 minutes. It's slow cooking. You then add stock. Now, as I was doing it for only one person, I found that adding about 200, or I think it's just slightly under 200 millimetres of stock for one person was about right, because on the first occasion I added too much liquid, so it's very liquidy. That's a bit annoying. The second time I got the liquid just right, just under 200 mils for one person I found. So you add the stock and you add the milk. I only added about 70 millimetres of milk, so not that much. Just under 100 mils for that. And you add some black pepper, and then you return the lid, and you're still keeping heat down very low. You let the soup simmer very gently for another 20 minutes. And then you blend to smooth puree, or depending on how smooth you want it. You return it to the pan, you add some chives, some snipped chives, and you reheat gently without letting it boil. So you're keeping it at a simmer, and then it's done. That was really, really very nice, and I had it with sourdough bread. I'm really getting into my sourdough now, so if you're thinking about what to serve sourdough with, that could be an example of what you could serve it with that would go well. I toasted some sourdough and had it with butter, and it was really very, very nice. So that was my day in food from yesterday. Right, moving on to video number 2 now. The next video is going to be a bit of a shorter video, because I just want to show you 2 beverages I've been drinking lately, and also the exciting news. So moving on to video number 2.